Hello and welcome back to another We Ourselves video. And today I want to continue talking about my Empower series. Not that Disney Plus has added any new characters to it, but I want to add my own character to it because it's somebody that I overlooked the first time that I talked about the black women in the MCU not getting the comparable treatment as the white female actresses and either other actresses of color. And today I want to talk about Zendaya and her role in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. As I said, it became very clear to me when I looked at the Empower little miniseries and how they talked about all the women in the MCU. And it became really obvious that the only women in the MCU that never got the Marvel treatment for a female hero were the black females. But we saw with Miss Marvel, she had an entire series. We've now had the release of Echo. She had her entire series. Both of those went heavy into their culture, who they are, their families traditions, all of those things that go into making them the women that they are. Then you had Shang-Chi's sister in Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. And even though her father was old school, the women can't train with the men and stuff, we still saw how that interaction went into making her the woman that she would be. She learned how to train on her own. She set up her own fighting club to hone her skills. And then at the end of the movie, she takes over her father's organization and she brings in needed changes to where the women can train with the men. We see their interactions with their families and most importantly, their fathers. And we saw that in the She-Hulk. As bad as that TV show was, one of the bright spots was Mark Lynn-Baker playing her father. It is the Marvel formula, except when it comes to the black females. Now, I know Zendaya is mixed race, but her father is African-American with some, I think, Nigerian ancestry. Her mom comes from, I think, German, Scottish. And so maybe that was just enough for her to fall under this subroutine that runs whenever a black actress is on screen. In a previous video, I talked about how there was supposed to be an Okoye series that went into her background, and that series got snapped away. Nobody talks about it. Nobody. The only thing Marvel's talking about now is an animated series that has nothing to do with that. So Zoe Saldana, she had character development, although it was a tragic story, but we saw the character development between her and her adoptive sister, Nebula. And then what does Marvel do? They reset her back to zero so that all of that character work over all those movies is gone like a snap. And they reset her to zero in the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So even she did not escape this subroutine, which does not produce scripts, stories, movies that dive into black female characters' backgrounds. And they did the same thing to Zendaya. Yes, the Tom Holland movies were a joint thing with Sony, but they were still jointly done with Marvel. And Sony themselves has mixed all of these movies over the last 22 years together into a Spider-Verse. They are saying they are all relevant, they are all concurrent, they all matter. So going from there, let's look at the 3 Spider-Men which were in the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, No Way Home. You had Tobey Maguire. In his original 3 movies, you had Kirsten Dunst playing Mary Jane Watson. She had a life. She had a story. She had a really, abusive father, but you saw her life. You saw where she lived. You saw her dreams. We knew that she wanted to be a singer. We even see her doing that, I believe, in the second movie and stuff like that. She had a life outside of Peter's life. She even had a brief affair with the James Franco character, the Harry Osborn character. She had a life. She wasn't just Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man's girlfriend. Then we come to the Andrew Garfield 2 movies, The Amazing Spider-Man, and you had Emma Stone playing Gwen Stacy. We see her life. She had a dad who was a police captain. We saw her interaction. She was smart herself. She was working at, I think, Oscorp at the time, and she was going off to school, and her life, her personal life, interfered with Peter's life. And then you had the whole idea of her father telling Peter, leave his daughter alone, don't bring her into this danger. So in the second movie, we see the result of all of that in the strain on their relationship. These were fully drawn female characters, again, played by Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But when you come to Tom Holland movies and Zendaya, We don't get any of that. Once again, yes, this is Sony, but it was also working with Marvel, and I think Marvel was leading the way on developing those movies. So once again, you have this woman of color who, unfortunately, like the black women, don't get characterization. She did not get the same treatment of character that Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst got in those first two series of movies. She's just Peter's girlfriend. She's a little off. She's a little strange. Ironically, the girl that Peter takes to the party, the daughter of the Vulture, she actually had more characterization in that than Zendaya does when she finally hooks up with Peter. It's amazing that this accomplished, talented young actress was not given the same chance to really show her skills on screen the same way that Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst were. It's the way the stories were constructed. They left no room for her to breathe, unlike they did with the first two series. And that's the real shame, because she's a real draw in any movie you put her in. So why did you not highlight her talent? Props to Zendaya for doing everything she did do with what she was given, because like I said, it's much less than what Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst got in their day. I really don't understand why they did Zendaya like that, except for it's par for the course for MCU when it comes to black actresses. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. As always, share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.